apparently there's a pipe up there I can replace. Just kind of driving around, exploring how large these maps actually are, and the answer is they're very large. Very big maps in this. Normally my quick looks, I start recording at the beginning of the game and I play for a bit and just kind of show off what it's like, but for this one, because the start of the entire game is a bit of a tutorial and you're constantly unlocking a little bit more over time, the more you play, the more vehicles you unlock and all that, I thought I'd kind of get into it a little bit as a quick look in the middle of the game. I don't know. We'll see. It's maybe a bit confusing, but I'll do my best to kind of explain what's going on. But for the most part, the general premise of this game is we're helping prepare for either an upcoming storm or repairing areas after a storm. And oh boy, are these places a mess. Let's recall this back. There's a good amount of vehicles in the game, all of them doing different things, you know, some of them being towing. There's some logging vehicles that you get, and I gotta do the other map to unlock the logging vehicles. I have it in a co-op save that I'm doing with my wife, but this save doesn't have them unlocked. It's like picking up a tree, harvesting it, and also transporting logs and stuff like that. You can make wooden bridges with it if you got the building for it available. But generally, like hauling vehicles and stuff, you know, some of them a bit fancier than others, some of them a bit more special purpose than others. For, oops, no, we got first person view too. I don't actually know if I looked around inside this vehicle. They got a lot of detail inside the vehicles in this. Quite nice. I wanted to switch camera mode though. Huge thing, like massive thing. But, power on. Obviously, the back bit goes down, and you often struggle a little bit to try to get folks up onto it, but yeah, it works well enough. Can fit two decently sized things with. I like to use it for the roadworks vehicles because we got also, you know, asphalt layers and asphalt rollers, and if you want to make your own little road somewhere, you can totally do that. There's generally missions and objectives that you do that kind of force you to do it to progress. Like this one, I think, was a road that they had me do. You just bring this stuff over there and tell the AI to do it. But you're allowed to do your own wherever. This is just a bunch of sand that I had dumped and smoothed here to make that work. That was a quest one. You'll know when it's mine. Hey, there's one of there's one of mine. It's the first one that I ever did. What do we got going on here? Oh, it's a bit of a loading bug. There's a few bugs with this game, but nothing too terrible. You make routes for AI sometimes, and you know, like this route, and you plot the route for them and try to guide them safely through, and you spectate them as they go around. And you can really follow them if you want, or go first person for a bit of immersion, which is kind of nice if you know, some of the maps are really good looking. The amount of detail in these maps is just insane. I don't know how they did the map creation for this, especially considering how large they are, but there's so much detail in there. Like, these places absolutely looked completely 100% thrashed. But it's kind of fun watching them go, and you see where they have troubles. This is just like a simple little truck guy. It should be fine. I've gotten all the rewards for this route anyway. I don't even need it, to be honest. We can clear it. Clear it completely. It's replacing pipes. Yeah, I got all the rewards. A lot of the time you get the objective and you gotta have them do the route like the one time. Like, let's say, hypothetically, I discover the concrete slabs facility, and I want to get concrete slabs because I know concrete slabs allow me to make bridges, which you can also plot and make just about wherever you want, by the way. A bit ugly here, but I think you get the idea. So let's say I want to do that. When I discover the building, there may be some issues with it, and I gotta, you know, fix those up, obviously. But usually you also bring up an infrastructure and you plot the AI route for, like, I don't know, it's probably going to be a main mission one, so it's quite easy to do. So it might be from, like, river-based. It kind of, that's a bit of a laugh, but you get the idea for it. And then once you do the route, then it's like, haha, we're done. We're set. And then the facility's up and running, and you can bring concrete recyclables and such into it to recycle it, and it crafts up some slabs for you to pull out, and you can bring those slabs to whatever project you want, or bring them into a general garage building to store them properly in the top right corner here. When it's in the garage, I can pull it out of any garage. I currently have 2 garages, I think. Yeah, we started with just the tunnel exit base on this one, and we eventually unlocked the river base when I discovered it. The heavy dump truck. Oh, yeah. I guess I could, Oh, let's see, where's some sand at? Over there? Okay. If I'm within the radius of a sand quarry, we get, like, free refills of sand, basically. Yeah, I don't know. Let me just recall it, honestly. We'll just, like, throw a bit of sand somewhere and smooth it so you can see what that's like. I love this game. I'm having a great time with it. I'm just basically advertising the game. I'm having a blast with it. I do wish the sorting was... I think there's a bug with the sorting where if you go into the individual categories of stuff, they don't... This doesn't show everything, I think. But if you go to all, then it does show everything. And that also applies to the shop, which is frustrating. Because the UI is like that, some of these vehicles that you use to... There's a way that you can summon a vehicle remotely. You summon a vehicle to a vehicle. It requires a gas consumable type thing. But the menu for summoning from that vehicle is just absolutely terrible. It's the worst thing ever. And sometimes the vehicles, I literally can't find them in there. So I just have to go to a garage, summon it, and then recall it to the vehicle. And it's a pain in the butt. There are a lot of vehicles, though. A lot of them are locked behind this like stars thing, which is just basically experience. I'm currently level 5 with a decent way to go. It's misleading because we're doing that total experience view, but we're getting there. Several main mission things, and we can probably do it. You can also repeat maps if you want to kind of grind a little bit. There's no randomization to it as far as I know, but good lot of vehicles in this, though. I was going to garage. Let's bring back the... Man, I can't find anything in this list. Yeah. Wait. Oh, you're already out. Oh. Strange. I've got a weird duplication bug. Interesting. Phenomenal. Alright. So, let's say we had some really horrible terrain. I mean, that's a bit rough there, but whatever. We'll just say we got rough terrain. Okay, apparently here, as it like auto dumps a little bit. It's a bit of a problem with this vehicle is it stores so much sand inside of its bed. There. Ta-da! Sand. And then we send out my dozer. The dozer comes with a few different modes. The marching mode, obviously. There's also the manual mode if you want to destroy everything around you. Don't do manual mode. Asphalt destruction if you make a big whoops or want to really doing a bit of sand flattening, which we're about to do. But march our way up there because we're faster. And we just a nice little plow through. It basically just averages the height of the sand around you. But it allows you to really take care of a really muddy area. If I wanted to turn this into a road for some reason, I don't know why, I guess I can. I think I gotta recall some roadworks though. Oh no. Okay, looks like I cleaned up after my my last job. Okay. Obviously, one of the big benefits of the garage is you can bring vehicles out of any garage. You can also bring vehicles to any garage remotely, like fast travel, for free. You don't have to use the gas for that. The gas is only used for summoning it to specifically that specific vehicle type. God, this thing is horribly slow. And this is why I've got those larger vehicle transport thingies. The Pike and the other one. I don't know their names, alright? And activate. And because it's a pretty simple route, it should be not too terrible, but the asphalt laying is generally rough to do. It sometimes just jerks around on you, it sometimes just stops and gets hung up on stuff at the flange. If the sand isn't exactly flat, I think it stops immediately, and you gotta like double press the asphalt button just to like stop and start it again real quick. It's a bit of a burden sometimes, but yeah, decent enough. I'm not 100% sure why you would want to asphalt something, because for the moment I haven't had so much traffic over a road that the sand alone wasn't enough for it. Like, we have rain now, and the rain will make things a bit muddy and a bit cruddier, but it's not like the sand just gets completely washed away or anything like that. It can handle quite a lot of traffic. Though saying that, this is only like the 3rd map out of 10? And I think I've also got like 8 or 9 hours in this save. This is a very long game. There is a ton of content. There's an expansion that you can buy the expansion now. It gives you like a vehicle, I think, but it will soon give you access to a few more maps. There is also some strange like pros membership thing that you can do to like look at custom maps and also create maps, I think. That'll be wild. There we go. Nice, smooth asphalt. That's it, that's all. It's pretty simple. You just drive over it with those. And there we go. I was always kind of interested in games like Mud Runner and Snow Runner and such, but they oftentimes seem to be a little bit too much of a ball ache for me. And I wasn't ever really too keen on playing those. Though I am generally interested in the concept of them. I do greatly appreciate that this game has a I guess a more casual approach, but don't misconceive that and think that this game's easy per se. It's I guess time consuming is maybe the way. Like, the main quests are pretty simple and straightforward, but the side missions though, holy crap, sometimes like you gotta bring cargo from A to B. But to do that, there's like 2 or 3 road construction projects that you have to do just to ensure that they can actually make it. And some debris to clear out with the dozer, and maybe we need to build a bridge over there. But to build the bridge, we need the concrete, so we gotta bring concrete over, and to get the concrete brought over, we gotta bring it onto a truck and deliver it over. We need, obviously, a crane to help load the concrete, and it's a lot easier with 2 players, or I think you can have 3 or 4. I think 4 is the max. But like, if I wanted to recycle these massive pipes, I mean, we have a winch on this. This is the exploring vehicle that you start the map with. It's versatile because it's got all-wheel drive, it's got differential lock, it's got also the low gear mode for really muddy crud. But even with this winch, it's not the most powerful winch. It's really just to help get you out of trouble. So if you want to bring these things to a recycling plant, you really need a proper crane and also a proper vehicle to put these on, unless you're just going to pick them up with the crane and deliver them over, which you could also do if you can maintain balance, because vehicles have a really good weight to them. The physics seem very good. There's a little bit of an oddity when you are winching stuff, though. It takes awkward routes. I feel like it's got a very sticky surface tension on some terrain that, rather than it dragging, it would really rather just like magnetically go underground or something. It's difficult to explain, but for the most part it's been quite okay. You don't really drag stuff too much in this. I think like the very first mission you do is like dragging a generator off of a construction project, which is kind of strange because you don't have it towing. You don't really have any towing or anything at that point. You don't have a crane or any of them. This bit is... Did I sand that? No, I didn't sand that. I didn't sand that at all. Okay. There is some very muddy terrain, though, periodically. I've been kind of sticking to the roads thus far, but we do have pretty decent terrain deformation, as you would expect. The more you drive over the kind of muddy areas, the worse they become. Things like this is probably going to be miserable to try to get through, especially during the rain. Let's just turn differential and all-wheel drive off. Maybe we get some tire spinning. Kinda, sort of? Not really. Okay, all-wheel drive on. Go, tire spin! But you can kind of see there, at that grass clump, we have quite a little pile there of mud. And that's there to stay. If I had any substantial weight, there's no way we could get up this thing. We can only do it because this vehicle is kind of designed for stuff like that. Like that's horrible. If I needed to get over there like a few times, we'd have to put sand on that at the very least. Right. The mission, though. Currently, we're meant to be exploring the other side of the river, which I kind of did. But I did it in an unintended way. I actually took the train tracks that were here because this bridge is actually in okay shape and I was able to fit, and you can drag these around, and I assume there's a bunch of work that we do to get the production facilities going at some point. I don't know if they actually do anything for us, though. As far as I can tell, we got the construction depot, so you can, like, you can sell crud and you can also buy resources. And then the recycling facilities, obviously. Steel pipes, steel beams, concrete slabs. Steel pipes, mostly just for, like, plumbing infrastructure stuff to get things working in an order. Steel beams, I'm not too sure on. I'm assuming there's very fancy bridges we can make down the road that would require a bunch of steel beams. In concrete slabs, currently, the only thing we really use for those is for the bridges. Which, again, you can put those pretty much wherever. Like, you could maybe even get a bridge just, like, across. Just, yeah, no, not quite. It doesn't quite have the range for it. I saw green for a very... Okay. Do I have... Oh, I see. It's just like going, like, to the rock. I don't know about that. You do get some big cranes sometimes to play with. Usually, the most you usually do with these things are just like, let's pick up these containers and get them out of the way. That's about it, which is a bit of a shame. There are I don't know if this map has it. I think, yeah, we got a little one here. The other map also has stuff like that. I wish it wasn't raining because it's so difficult to, like, see during the rain. But, I mean, we got a little claw game thingy, which I'll absolutely fail at because it's difficult to really get a grab on it. But there you go. You sometimes get this, and that's a lot of junk. Not sure if all of that is pick-upable. Most of that is. Most of that's pick-upable. And you could bring all that to the recycling for steel pipes or steel beams. They highlight that deep blue for those resources. Things that highlight green would be for bringing over for log recycling. And the concrete slabs being a bit of an awkward lighter blue than the other blue. It's not so great, that. Let's send that back to the garage and send it out again. Let's see if we can get to the other side of the river, which I kind of do already know the route for. It turns out it's... Wow. So that's what. Yeah, okay. We can do that. Let's head out with this guy and see if we can't get stuck. Or kind of U-ing around and... You know, something like that. I don't know. Figure it out, probably. I'll go drive on pretty much always. The low gear mode is basically just if you're spinning tires inside of mud or something, the low gear mode allows you to, well, be a lower gear. What am I? Oh. Concrete slab there. The low gear allows you to try to get out without also destroying what little bit of ground and grip there is. A little bit of sand there would be nice. Just a bunch of sand right at that fence and just bulldoze it over for a nice sand ramp. That'd be good. Parking brake off would also help. And then we also got the differential locked to ensure that the tires on both sides are spinning together, so if you're a bit sideways, maybe stuck up on a rock or something like that, you tell all the tires to spin together and you can continue to go, but tires need to spin at different rates for maneuverability purposes. So typically I have it off unless I'm going through really rough terrain. Set off. That's all concrete that I probably should. No, I don't need to mark that. That's not too far away. That's not that far away. Worst case, I can find resources this way. There's a lot of concrete over there. Oh my god. I gotta see about buying like a proper flatbed truck. See about getting all that one of these days. Let's get a bunch of slabs and just make big concrete bridges instead of doing all the sand business. Because the sand is nice and it's free. It just takes a while though. Oh yeah, this is delicious. And there's not a whole lot to winch onto either. Alright, well, let's go for it. It's fine. Feel safer in this view. There is pretty okay controller support for those, and also for steering wheels. There's support too if you want to take it like really seriously. I don't think it's terribly necessary, but you can go for that. Up the train scanner, yeah, avoid that bit there. Understood. This vehicle is almost indefeatable. Almost. There are other vehicles as well. Whoops, sorry, tree. I think that tree's dead. There are other vehicles that you can get that has like all-wheel drive as a setting and the differential lock, and some of them just have that stuff forced on all the time. It kind of varies a little bit, but that's something that separates truck A from truck B. This one is like really cheap, but you know, doesn't have really access to very much. Like if I were to look at, you get access to it really quickly and you'd think, oh my god, that's incredible. The Wayfarer is semi-truck. You unlock this at actually level 5 and it's got a good price tag, but this is a big but. This has a big but, oh my god. Notice these are grayed out. This doesn't have that. All this thing can do is just go forward. So rough terrain is absolutely out of the question for it. It's got a ton of cargo space, but it really comes at the cost of making sure that your infrastructure is really set up good for it. So like something like that to move all the concrete slabs would be incredible. And would probably work because it's not too bad of a route over there. It's mostly roaded up. There's no like dirt or mud or anything. I think we can turn low gear off. We're not really spinning tires here. What are we even doing up here? Is this just to like scout it out and see? Must be, right? Because I don't think there's anything I can do up here. Oh, well, what if you... Thankfully, we got, like, nice flyby. Yeah, there's a bridge that we should probably repair and use. What's her butt gonna talk at me a bit? Yeah.
Great. That should work. Looks like we have a few things on the agenda again. First up, establish a route between the workshop and the Salle de Mars quarry. The quarry has a broken pipe system that needs fixing real soon. Second, deliver the pump from the workshop to the La Rose quarry. And while you're there, repair the broken pipe. You'll need a bridge to cross the river to get to the salt mine. So, add that to your to-do list. I've sent you some concrete bridge designs. Just don't get too carried away. But if you do, maybe call it Kelly Bridge. I always dreamt of having something ugly and concrete named after me.
Oh yeah, the wooden bridges. Yeah, alright, cool. So we do get access to wood here. Okay. I'm not really sure what gave us wood, because on the other map you do, you unlock like the lumber yard and all that, and that's what then gives you access to wooden bridges. Alright. So wooden bridges, they get a much nicer angle for like steeper incline and decline. Max sections 10. 20 max sections on this. Holy crap. Was that always 20? I don't know if that was always 20. I feel like that wasn't always 20, but maybe. That's a long one. Scout bridge. Excellent. That's really cheap though. 3 logs for that. Whereas the wooden wide bridge, probably a bit more. Not quite. Doesn't exactly fit. Put the alignment on just in line. Yeah, there we go. That'll just fit. And then a helpful trick that I learned, if you want to like line it up, because your starter point may not be exactly 100%, which usually doesn't matter, but you line up at least the one end, the second end, hit escape to cancel, arrow down, not using the mouse, to the bridge, hitting enter, and then clicking. That's exactly the inline spot that I left off on last time, and then typically you'd be able to then just like connect it up on the other end, but this bridge really doesn't want to fit, so I would have to go with the wide concrete bridge, which is fine. Sure, something like that. Then arrow down, wide concrete. There we go. Just to ensure that we got something quite a bit in line. Now that is 9 concrete slabs, which is a bit upsetting, but I do have 9 concrete slabs. You got these for doing. Probably one of the side missions gave me what I needed. It tends to just kind of give you enough. You don't have to recycle too much. A lot of the recycling is done just so you can make like your own custom bridges somewhere. Because again, obviously, I didn't need to build the dirt there. I could have just built a bridge, and we could just do that. I assume since I have access to wood, have you given me? You didn't give me any logging vehicles though. That's rude. You all right? Why did you give me? We must get wood soon. That's a bit of a strange thing. Oh well. Side missions. Retrieve the Monteville archive and bring it to administration. It's finding something up there and bringing it to... I don't even know where, because I discovered this quest when I was where I shouldn't have been yet. And then explore some castles way over there. This map is huge. This map is just, it's too big. You really spend hours on these maps. It's crazy. It's really nice though. You do have to be a bit patient with it, though, I'm noticing. Restore the area around Saldamars with a broken pipe. And also plotting a route. Right. Yeah, we got a lot of pipe replacing to do, which means I got to get some pipes made up, which means we got to get some materials recycled for said pipes. So, let's go to the steel pipes facility. It already has 3 of them banked. I got my proper, well, I say proper, it's the rusty variant. It was the free one. you get a lot of the vehicles you need. They're called the rusty variant of it. You get given them for free for just to ensure that you've got something for the quest, but you can buy the nice painted non-rusty version of it. And it's better in literally every way. All of its stats are +1, which is honestly a pretty huge deal. Something with like 2 notches of stability out of 5 instead of 1 out of 5 is tremendous. So let's... something really just chill about this. I don't know, it's something that you could really just, yeah, sometimes you got those games like Hard Space Shipbreaker, or to some extent also Ostronauts, or Minecraft a lot of the time. You can just have it, you just play that just on the side while you're like kind of watching something else, sort of. It's one of those. There you go, honk it in there. And geez, I don't know if the barrels would be worthwhile or not. We got some like explosive barrels we could try to bring in. The mega big pipes, I guess I could also attempt to bring in, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if we can actually drive those. I guess I go for a couple of these guys. The crane controls and all that they're a bit confusing, but you do get used to it. It does make sense. There is a method to the madness. I'm not great with it, but I'm pretty okay. Change the camera so it focuses around you. And there we go. Just set you in there. A nice little trick I like to do sometimes is you set it down just anywhere, move your crane to where you want it to generally be, reattach it, and then shorten the rope length very slightly to scoot it to where your crane is. It works quite well, and then you can save a bit of time by resetting your crane. Yeah, I don't know if these give us very much, but I only needed... how many pipes? I think it was just the one pipe was broken, right? And I got a few orders for a few different pipes, so... maybe just the 3 is actually fine. Getting a little bit extra here, which isn't a bad thing. It's just, again, you don't really use pipes for anything willy-nilly infrastructure-wise. Man, that's not going anywhere, except that tipped over one mic. That might be going somewhere. We have it all physics locked, though, so it's fine. Bring it in, unstrap it, park, and there we go. You can see in the bottom left, we have 3 steel pipes, and that was maybe half of another steel pipe. I will go ahead and bring these out by pressing Y, not Z. German keyboards not being QWERTY and confusing just every game ever. Man. Bring you over. Oops, wrong button. Trying to drive with my spikes in. Oops. There's no damage to vehicles at all, so there's no worry there. It may be disheartening for some folks. Some folks are rolling into a game that's like, if it's going to be like this, it may as well like go the full 9 or so. Just like really just the ultra ball busting experience. But this is, again, it's a little bit casualized, which I quite like. Change the attach mode. There we go. There's 2 attach modes for this. The one is you pick it up with like kind of equal balance. The other attach mode is just one attach point gets connected. Helpful for just dragging something or just lifting up one of its ends or something. Yeah. Typically, I just use this one. It's fine. Give it a bit of slack. Lower this into position. Give it a little twist. We'll drop it there. Do my little trick there. Then a quick little cheeky reset of the crane. The pipe rolls to the other side anyway, that's fine, don't care. Hey, do what you want, pipe. This game being what it is, I don't think it's anything that I would actually record earnestly. It's more of like a, man, just a chill stream game, I guess, to help people fall asleep at night. I don't know. It's probably absurdly boring to watch, but man, it's satisfying to play. Again, you get like a nice playthrough or something going on the side and just chill with it. I love that you can do generally like laying the sand and building bridges and all that. You can do that just however you want, whenever you want. Well, not exactly whenever you want. You gotta unlock the ability to do it first, but you know what I mean. This guy, scoot these forward a little bit. That'll work. Okay. You know what I've just realized? I should have used the different truck for this, because I'm replacing pipes. I gotta pull off old pipes and then put these pipes in, which likely requires a crane. And I do have a vehicle that's got the crane and also a bed on it. Yeah, well. No matter. So where are we going? Way over at the concrete slabs facility. Fine. That... Oh, I see. Ah, both the salt quarries. Got you. I don't know why it's... Oh, it's the pipe that goes from concrete slabs to... I see. I get it. Oh, was it just the two? Oh, it was just the two. Mm-hmm. What's this? Some item to deliver. I gotta do this one by hand from the workshop to over here to get... I assume this pumping building going or something. Okay. Well, I see one of the pipes here. I'll mark that. And another pipe here. I'll mark that. This one looks like a pain in the butt to get to. Definitely gonna want to have the long crane for that. The downside of the vehicle, that's both a cargo bed and also a crane, the crane's not very long, or nor is it very strong. It does enough. Don't know what, that looks so weird. Okay, but apparently across the bridge. Alright, just over at the river base pretty much. Okay, well hey, that kind of works because then I can say recall this proper crane. We deploy it here and ta-da! Now that's already a lot closer to where we're doing these operations at. I still do have to drive this. This. Still have to drive this over there though, which that'll be a minute, but that's alright. This is just a quick look anyway, just to generally show like a little bit of what this game is about. Because, well, when it was first released, there's a lot of really weird complaints about it. Like, somebody was upset that the tutorial lady wouldn't ever shut up. She has, like, maybe 20 lines, tops, in, like, the first couple missions. Okay. Well, unless you're doing a quest, she doesn't ever talk. I don't know. Whatever. There is another complaint about like the damage system not existing for this game, and SnowRunner doing some things better, and I don't know if it's exactly fair to compare this to SnowRunner. Like, it's the same dev, I think, Saber Interactive, but the SnowRunner and MudRunner games, unless I'm wrong, again, they were usually a little bit too bollocky for me at the time. Well, you're not really fixing up an area. You're doing a lot of jobs, usually hauling jobs, and sometimes it's like a hauling job to get like a bridge going. Speaking of bridge, this thing was horrendously, there was stuff spewing everywhere. I moved most of it out of the way so we could actually traverse. But holy crap, was it bad before. I think there's like a couple times where you're doing a mission and it like happens to unlock a bridge or something similar to a bridge, but you wouldn't really be using that bridge too much. And it was always a little bit like a, man, because you do all this work and it'd be cool to, you know, actually use it. Come on. Heavy thing, this. But this game is, it's a lot more focused around the sort of, you know, creating infrastructure and moving back and forth on it, and you gotta work around the world and you slowly fix it up, and eventually, you know, you get like power going and you use like this big cable laying machinery to move cables around, and you get stuff powered up and it's got power then, you know. It's neat. It's kind of like you're actually doing something and seeing what this place used to look like, and then you're kind of just band-aid fixes everywhere. There's something really satisfying about it. Yeah. See the inside of this one. You can also like, whoa, if you want to be like immersive about it and die. Oh right, I don't have this bridge up yet. Ah, but I do have the sand thing. Right, I don't actually need this bridge. It's just occurred to me. Bridges. Delete bridge. We don't actually need it because I just have a massive turd of dirt over here. think I did this with the smaller dump truck too. The big dump truck that I used earlier, it was a bit of a new one. That one dumps so much sand so quickly that you can actually fill in like a lake. Like that entire lake, I could probably fill in with it. It would take a lot of loads, but it's actually possible, I think. Because the dump truck that you start with doesn't have that much volume to it. So as you're dumping it, the sand just kind of vanishes. There's just not enough sand there. It just gets washed away. It works for most things, but if you want to patch in a lake, so it's not really the tool for the job. So where am I going from here? This is where I'm a bit fuzzy. We could go through concrete slabs and down. Yeah, okay, pretty much through concrete slabs and through the river base as well. Okay. Yeah, right. It's not so bad when you're doing the driving and delivering. A lot of the, I guess, challenge, again, this isn't a technically hard game, but a lot of the... my road. A lot of the challenge is the AI drivers when you're setting up those infrastructure routes and telling them, you know, deliver this. Because they're not the smartest AI, and the delivery truck that they're using, much like that huge freight truck that we get, it doesn't have all-wheel drive, it doesn't have a differential lock. It has a low gear mode, but they never use it. They just hold W and they go for it, man. It's a bit terrifying, but with a little bit of babying, it's not so bad. The main missions are usually pretty easy for them. There might be like a thing or two to move. You know, maybe some debris needs to get out of the way, and there's just like, this area's a bit muddy. You can patch it to make it easier, but it's not strictly necessary. That's the extent of it. Excuse me. Right, my bridge was back there, wasn't it? Yeah. Yes, it was. Just around all these guys and around those trees. Probably should have deposited these back into the garage. Around these trees, I think. Yeah, there we get a little bit muddy and cruddy. But not too muddy. This thing's pretty good for off-roading. Low gear mode, differential lock. Just power everything on. Low gear off. We're good.
Saldemar's and LaRose quarries. Looks like a figure 8 on the map. Or an infinity symbol if I turn my head. Oh, ew. I must have slept well.
Yeah, kinda.
No head turning for me. Both those quarries are flooded out. At least until we train them.
She's also kind of funny sometimes because the game is a bit self-aware. She doesn't tell you just like, oh, fix this and this and this by doing this, this, and that. And then we gotta do that. You can do that by doing this, this, and this. It's a bit more self-aware than all that. So sometimes she'll just be like, oh, you know the routine. Get this working. And it's just like, oh, okay, done. I understand. And then bring the crane down. This thing's a little bit more awkward to drive, but it's also a bit rough to get stuck in areas. If it does start going south though, man, does it ever go south with this thing fast? Holy crap. But it does have a huge crane arm that I can use to try to right myself. When something tips over properly or gets flooded underwater enough, the whole engine shuts off, and you don't really have access to too much. I think I can like attach winches still, but I don't think I can actually pull winches. Oh my god, the rain stopped. Oh, it's so beautiful. Don't think I can actually pull winches though. When the engine's off. Right, and all this crap. I could try that, but I don't think... Yeah, I mean, that's kind of a job for, like, a dozer. What kind of a reach do we have here? don't think that's gonna cut it. Alright, put our hooks out and let's get some of this stuff out of the way. There's something of a path. Again, requires a bit of patience, this game. It's not terribly ball achy though, I don't know. I'm not sure why I'm okay with something like this and not something like, you know, like painting walls in House Flipper was like mega time ball ache. I think it's because you're painting walls in House Flipper because you have to. Whereas in here, I'm moving this stuff because it's in my way and I need to get by. It's to benefit me. So it's a bit different. Switch the camera too so I can see a bit better what we're doing here. There we go. And then a bit of concrete as well, sure. Really just need to get enough room for me to fit in there. That's it, that's all. Whee! I will say also there is a little bit of merit in just doing something like really half-assed like I'm doing now. But I'm pretty sure we're never going to be coming back out this way after these pipes are replaced, because like this doesn't go anywhere. So it's kind of whatever. But if you are working on a road and dumping sand for it, it does pay to be a bit thorough with it, because the side missions are usually sending you back across areas that you had previously already fixed up for the main quest. So in the time since then, the road has maybe gone a little bit sour, I guess. I was gonna say sour. Does that make sense though? You know what I mean. I think I want to move you too, but I'll do it without my forks out though. They're not too heavy, so it's kind of fine. Look at that, perfect fit. Parking brake off. Pull up kinda to the side. Little more. Little more. But it's a good thing vehicle damage doesn't exist. Oh my god. That'd be such a pain in the butt if it did. Oh, my parking brake's on. That's why we're not going anywhere. I think we're just a bit stuck. Those back tires. Alright. Well, that's good enough though. We're generally in. Differential lock off so we can make the tighter turns. Try to pull in kind of sort of alongside. I should probably back in actually. Backing in seems wise. I also need differential lock, it turns out. This is too bumpy and cruddy to drive on normally without it. Obviously, I can also crane vehicles around. There's also wrecked vehicles along the side of the roads you can pick up and carry around and recycle. Absolutely, of course. My hooks out? Nope, they are now though. Should also, there we go. Let's see. I can, it's heavy as heck, but we can pick it up and move it. Or change the grabbing mode, the attach mode to just the one tether. Probably also work just fine. Can that be really cool and just like smash the old one out of the way? that way. That point of view here is so garbage. Okay, bring it in. But raise us up. Okay, we can't. We're at the height limit for that reach. Fine. I think I have to just... Let's just do this normal. There's no fancy maneuvers here for us. And just bring this into place. It's not too specific. It's just it goes green when you're close enough. You let it go then. Ta-da. Okay. So, I'm not stuck or anything. Totally not. But, let's pull forward a bit here. And... see about... parking brake off, please. I might need a touch of assistance. Because I'm gonna do this a dumb way. Is this way too dumb? It is incredibly dumb, but... hold on, give me a good counterweight here. All of our driving happens in the front. The back wheels, they don't really do a whole lot here. So let's bring the weight up to the front. Come on. Trying to do things a bit oddly and differently just to show off, really. Because there are some quite neat systems at play here. And it's kind of fun to do stuff like that sometimes. Which is why, again, I'm glad there is no damage system, because if there were, I'd be in a lot of trouble. Get the weight more to the front a bit here. Okay, I think I need maybe more weight. Could also be, I might need some weight off on the side here. So that back left tire can touch anything? No? Okay, fine. More weight then. Truck. This is when I kind of wish I had a second player right now, because as soon as I switch the vehicle, like I can lock on and all that, but as soon as I switch to this vehicle, we lose the hooking on this guy. I don't really know why, but whenever you have a load, it automatically detaches when you switch the vehicle. I guess just like as a memory thing. It would have been very nice just to have the load move for me. But there we go, we're out. Get a little bit more space. And still can't reset it. There it goes. Aha! on to the next one! Yeah, but again, it's just a quick look. I just thought I'd show off a little bit. Oh, my parking brake's been on the whole time. Whoops. Again, vehicle destruction's not a thing. Good thing for that. You said this is like a figure eight. Can we actually access? Ew. Oh. Ew. Ew. How do we get over to this one? I'd like to guess that that's very deep there, but let's bring the Explorer vehicle real quick over and check it out. If the Explorer vehicle can make it, then there's hope for us. I think I'll generally wrap up the quick look around here, though. I think you get the general gist of this game. There's a lot of gameplay here, though. Holy crap. And I don't know what the custom maps and all that are all about, or what, like, modding can be done for that, but it seems a bit like there might be map creation out there. And if it's at all powerful whatsoever, oh my god. If you're even like a little bit interested in this game, keep a very close eye on it, I say. Oh, how bad is this? Yeah, that's pretty bad, huh? Yeah. I mean, I thought it was bad because, like, that building is just about underwater and that crane is underwater, but, like, that's way over there, man. But I guess this crane's underwater here, too. Right. So, I mean, sand is always an option, but it's maybe too steep of a hill, quite a bit rocky. That ways out the snakes up into the mist. Yeah, I guess we access this generally from up here. I guess the lake rounds out here. I mean, we could force this, though. It's probably forcible. Don't know if we could do it with just the one bridge simply across like that, but, the wide bridge, that's the guy. Yeah, I mean, hey, there's... 13 slot. What is happening over there? I think that was upscaling drama. That's a heck of a bridge. It's a lot of concrete slabs, but there's a lot of concrete around for us. I think generally we'd be wanting to approach that from the backside. Something to check out another time, though. Because I'm gonna wrap this up here. I just wanted to show this. I've been playing this game a lot. I saw this game released and it reminded me a lot of a game that I was kind of brainstorming, because some years ago we had a lot of rain and a dam nearby had some structural iffiness to it that was appearing, and they had to make the tough decision to open the floodgates lest the dam breaks, and it flooded quite a lot and some towns were destroyed, and yeah, it was honestly pretty bad. The military was called in and everything. It was horrible. We're still repairing it, and that was back, was that 2020? I forget if that was like just before COVID restrictions were really hot and heavy or just after. But largely okay now, but some areas are still a bit destroyed. But as we were driving through the destruction afterwards, it kind of made me want to play a game that was like a disaster relief simulator, where you're sort of assigning teams and allocating funds and resources to try to fix up major infrastructure, and eventually towards the end getting enough businesses running and getting enough income over time and getting enough materials supplied / ordered and brought in that you can start to beautify the area a bit then too, and like, you know, just generally like tidy it up a bit then if you wanted. And this kind of scratches that same itch. Really just a big Death Stranding itch is being scratched with this, though. Because with Death Stranding, I really liked trying to plan and plot and gather resources and bring them out and be like, okay, well, just in case you run into this and this and that, let's bring these things, and probably want to get a new pair of shoes, and I'm going to be heading over to this territory, which is pretty bad, so let's make sure we got this on hand. And there wasn't ever enough like really small tools for it for my liking, because a lot of the time it was just like, you just use the ladder. And like, that's it. That's like all you needed for just about everything. And so it would have been nice to have like more smaller tools, and in this we kind of have the vehicles as the tools. Like it kind of fills that same void in a way, if that makes sense. Yeah, I'm having a great time with it. If you're even remotely interested, I say keep a close eye on it. If you get it on pretty much any sale at all whatsoever, absolutely. But even at full price, there's plenty of gameplay in there. there's a lot. If I were to actually go back to the hub, this is like the tutorial map, and then you're preparing for the disaster, and then after the disaster happens, basically, because it's like a hurricane or a storm coming through. These act as definitely tutorials, and these are both also a bit tutorial. I'm not 100% sure what Sunken is teaching me yet. I think this is just teaching me that your balls can ache quite a lot, and sometimes it's okay. Just push through. Other times, see a doctor. This one teaches you pine trees in Eastern Europe / it's pretty much Canada. It sucks to get anywhere. Everything is butts. But it's okay, because frick nature, we got the tools to dominate. And then these, I'm not too sure what these are leading to. I have no idea. I don't know. And then there's the rebuild expansion if you want to buy that. It's like another... I think if you don't own the game, it's like an extra $10. Otherwise, if you do own the game, I think it's annoyingly like $15. I might have that reversed. I don't know. I don't think it was any cheaper like adding the expansion on top. I think it's cheaper to buy the game with the expansion. But it doesn't currently, but will feature, I think, 2 new maps. I think. Which would be great. That'd be incredible. I would love it. We're only 27% of the way through with Sunken, by the way. Oh my god. But like, I guess I can show Aftermath. Infrastructure request completed 0 out of 7. Well, that's a lie. I 100%ed this. There might be a couple routes that I didn't let play out 100%. Because like, you get the route to do for the AI and you tell them go, and they can complete it the one time, and that satisfies the objective. But if they send more trucks safely, you get like more reward, like a bonus reward, up to a certain amount, and eventually it runs out. So there might have been... Oh yeah, this is the crane and cargo that I got, the mule. I love this thing. It's just, the arm is, compared to the proper crane, it's a bit of a piddly arm, but it does have, it's got some work to it. Got a good amount of oomph. But this map isn't nearly as big in comparison. This is I can fit the entire map in one screen. The first map is even just like this section, like it's really small. And I thought like, oh man, this game's going to be kind of quick, isn't it? Oh my god, wrong. both the map that I'm currently doing and also... Oh yeah. I laid cable here and that was my mark to turn. Both the map that I'm currently doing and the map that I just finished on my co-op save, both were like 6 to 10 hours, I think, with the 2 of us working. So solo, I don't even know. There's like this bridge that I could build here because there was the start of a bridge, but I never got an objective to make that bridge. So I don't know, is that just there for funsies? I don't know. Like, I kind of considered building it anyway. So that's queued up. But, yeah, no, I'm loving this. I'm loving this big time. Huge recommend for me. I don't really have a whole lot of qualms with it. My initial qualm again was like maybe map size, and it would be nice to have a map that's just like an infinite mode where you're building and preparing. You've got like 40 minutes. This is where the storm's coming through at, you know? So you got 40 minutes to prepare for it, and then the storm comes through or so, and it like randomizes some destruction along the way, and you gotta like complete some infrastructure objectives and get routes going and all that, and then you like rebuild for the next one. There's like an endless sort of repeat mode like that. But the maps are big enough that I no longer really care about that. It is completely, totally, 100% fine. Oh, barrel. I want that. Ah, yeah, barrel. Come here. Nice. Hi, barrel. Very loud in here. But there's like fun detail. Like, look what's going on with that shelf there, man. What's up with that? Very loud. Loud little cabin, though. Some headphones would be good for that little shelf, actually. Fun stuff. I get to play with big machinery. I get to deform the terrain, build bridges, make things look good. Do a little bit of grinding. If I wanted just to earn some money for vehicles, I could just go to a map that's got a workshop and we just sell crap. Fantastic.